we'll take a look at how automatic floor trusses work. We'll begin by setting the floor platform depth and the framing type to truss. When we build the floor framing, we'll explore the various attributes for the floor trusses, how to exclude floor truss and joist framing underneath walls, and then manually adjusting the trusses as needed. Let's begin the process by building a new second floor. Underneath the Build menu, I'll come down to Floor, Build New Floor, and we'll accept the defaults here. The first thing I want to do is take a look at the floor platform setting. Notice in the Edit button as we click here, I want to come up and change the depth for the floor to 21 inches. And then for the framing member, from the drop down, I'm going to select the truss option. Click OK. And then as we close this dialog, the next thing I want to do, let's go ahead and square up our room over the garage so we just have a main floor. The floor framing will be built on the floor below for the second floor. As I move down, open up the framing, let's go into the first floor panel, and in this area let's go ahead and select to build the floor platform and review the options in here. In this case, you may not want to have the rim joist for your floor trusses. So any of these settings you can define for those trusses, and then it will build it. And as we take a look at this in 3D, you can see we have a pretty simplified floor platform, but it consists of floor trusses and they were built automatically for us. Now the next thing is, let's look at creating our stairwell and maybe adding a couple of interior walls. I'll create an automatic stairwell, and then let's move up to the second floor and make an adjustment on the stairwell. Let's go ahead and select the wall, and I'm going to pull this out so we have a wider stairwell. And as I slide over, the other thing I want to do is just draw a handful of interior walls so we can take a look at how floor framing below walls can be impacted. So we'll just draw a couple of random walls across the structure in here. Let's move down to the first floor and then open up the Build Framing dialog once again, and let's rebuild that floor framing and take a look at the changes. And you see we have the opening for the stairwell over in this area as we make the 3D view a little bit larger. So the opening for the stairwell happened automatically, and as you slide over, you can see we have a set of double trusses underneath some of those interior walls. If you want to make a change to how that gets framed, move over into the floor plan view. I'm going to use the marquee Select all of the interior walls, open them up, and then on the Structure panel, I'm going to come down, and there is a setting in here to omit the framing for joists or trusses below, and then once again back into the Build Framing. I don't have the automatics on. Once we rebuild that framing, you can see as a result that those trusses are now singular where the walls are. You kind of look across there, and so that's how you can control that framing. Now for manually creating trusses, you can manually draw your floor trusses, and you can click on any one of these trusses and easily move them to make edits as you need to for your floor framing.